How was the word for door in French?
Porte.
Porte. And doors in the plural?
Porte.
Porte. The same, no? So, whilst we add an S, we don't hear that S. They sound the same, porte and porte. But we do hear that we have a plural in the word for the, which is also the word for it or them, no? How do we say the door?
La porte.
La porte. Good. And how do we say the doors?
Les portes.
Les portes. So la in the plural also just becomes les, L-E-S. La gare, G-A-R-E, la gare, is the station,
La gare.
Good. How would you say a station?
Une gare.
Good, it's U-N-E, but the E is mostly just letting us know to pronounce that N, no?
Une gare.
Une gare. To go in French is aller.
Aller.
A-L-L-E-R. This is where we get alleyway from in English. An alleyway is a going way. Aller, to go. How would you say, I have to go to the station?
Je dois aller à la gare.
Very good. Je dois aller à la gare. And the stations?
Les gares.
Les gares. Good. City is ville. The city, la ville.
La ville.
That's V-I-L-L-E. Ville.
Ville.
A city?
Une ville.
Une ville. So the U is like it is with tu, U.
Une ville.
Very good. Une ville. The cities?
Les villes.
Les villes. So we've seen how the E ending on nouns tends to be feminine, no? But it's also possible for a noun to end in an E, even though the ending is actually something else. Like in the case of the age ending, A-G-E, as in the French word for village, le village. And as we see in le village, age is a masculine ending. We have le village. So even though village ends in an E, the E isn't the ending. Age is the word ending. And that ending is masculine. How would you say the villages?
Les villages.
Les villages. Good. So we add an S on le and we get les. We add an S on village and it sounds the same. Les villages. We can pull in other words ending A-G-E, age, from English too, like garage. How would the garage be?
Le garage.
Very good. Le garage. And a garage?
Une garage.
Une sounds like U-N-E. Is that what you would use for a garage?
Un garage.
Very good. For masculine, we have UN, no? Like in un peu. Un garage. The message in English, this ends AGE. So how might that be in French?
Le message.
Le message. And the messages?
Les messages.
Les messages. A message.
Un message.
Very good. Un message. Age is masculine, no? That's a masculine ending. Baggage. We could have in French baggage.
Bagage.
Bagage. Courage. Courage. This is spelled C-O-U, no? So O-U gives us ou.
Courage.
Courage. Le courage, the courage. The marriage. This has one R in French. The marriage.
Le mariage.
Has an I though, no? Marriage. We don't hear it in English, but it's spelled M-A-R-I-A-G-E in French.
Le mariage.
Le mariage. So although these words end in an E, the ending is actually age, A-G-E, and this is a masculine ending. And like always, there are exceptions to this rule. a cage, for example. Cage in French is la cage, that's feminine. So what was the city again?
Le ville. Ah, la ville.
La ville. Good. The village?
Le village.
Le village. No, age is a masculine ending. The word isn't ending E, it's ending AGE. So it's le village. The garage?
Le garage.
Very good. Le garage. The station we saw was la gare.
La gare.
And of course, this again has the same base, no? We have la gare with the feminine ending, the station, and then the garage, le garage. So just like we saw with verbs, where we can have a base like porter, for example, and add bits onto the beginning for different meanings, no? Exporter, emporter, to take away, etc. We notice that with nouns, words you put the in front of, we can also have a base and add endings to it to give us different meanings from that same base. We can think of ville, V-I-L-L, as a base, and with the feminine E ending, we get the word for city, la ville. With the masculine age ending, we get the word for village, le village. And of course, we could also get villa, no? Which means the same in French and English, like a holiday home or something. La villa. A is a feminine ending. So noun endings show us the gender of the word and can also change to give us different words, different meanings from the same base. La ville, the city, le village, the village, la villa, the villa. Even message, for example, is actually coming from la messe, which means mass, like religious mass. They both come from an old root about sending. Interestingly, mass in Old English was sometimes called senders. Senders. So we have la messe in French, the mass, M-E-S-S-E, and from this, le message, the message. We also have the massage. How would that be in French? The massage.
Le massage.
Le massage. And this also comes from the word mass, but now not religious mass in the sense of a mass of stuff. So le massage is probably coming from the idea of moving the mass around in the body. So how would you say the mass in French, now not meaning the religious mass, which we saw was la messe, like le message, how would you say the mass, meaning like a mass of stuff, from le massage?
La masse.
La masse. Mass, like a mass of stuff, the mass. So in English, mass can mean religious mass, no? Or a mass of stuff. And in French, these words, la messe, like message, and la masse, like massage, remain more closely connected to where they came from, which might not seem particularly interesting at first. But then if you notice later that, for example, communion, like the religious communion, and communication are coming from the same root, and you notice there that we have two words of religious significance, communion and mass, being related to communication, and think, oh, what might we be discovering here through language? This is another element of this analysis which will make you like a sponge to all of the language that you come across, and learning words will feel like a secondary result of another process. And we will notice these different noun endings and experiment also with changing them and finding new words. So for example, you might notice that la langue means the tongue or the language, la langue.
La langue.
And then le langage means language, but in a more specific sense, like programming language or sexist language, langage sexiste, but language generally, langue. So here with our age ending, the translation of the word is the same, language, but it's used in slightly different contexts. We know what a collage is from English, le collage in French, a collage. And with the feminine E ending, la colle, we get the glue, la colle.
La colle.
So C-O-L-L-E, la colle, and then with the masculine ending age, le collage, the collage. So we could have the age ending, the e ending, and others you'll notice in the language. We could also maybe have no ending at all on what we can identify as being the base of the noun. So for example, what was marriage again?
Le mariage.
Le mariage. Good. So if we take away what we identify as the noun ending, what are we left with? Le mariage.
Maria. Mari. Mari.
Mari. And this means husband. Le mari, the husband. So we get rid of the age ending and we're left with just the base, and the base here gives us the word husband. Le mari. How would you say, I want to see my husband?
Je vais voir mon mari.
Very good. Je veux voir mon mari. Advantage, another word in English with this age ending, advantage. This in French is avantage. Avantage.
Avantage.
So we don't have the T that we have there in English, advantage. No, avantage. And without the age ending, avant, with no ending at all, no, this base by itself, avant, A-V-A-N-T, we don't hear the T on the end there, of course, means before, avant, before.
Avant.
So advantage, avantage, actually means something like head start, starting or being before, avantage. Avant-garde, which we say in English, avant-garde, means like radical or experimental, no? And this was actually originally a military term, meaning like the before guard. We saw courage, no? With no ending at all, just that base, although it does change a little bit. We get le cœur, which means the heart. The courage is just heartage. Courage, le cœur, the heart. And also where corps comes from in English, your core is your heart. So noticing how nouns are formed will help us find our own patterns to bring them in from English, like words ending age, courage, courage, and also for when we come across another word like le cœur, for example, the heart. Trying to see, does that look like something else that I know, rather than just thinking, okay, now I need to memorize this random word. And if you notice, it's like courage, but without the masculine age ending. And then checking, does that make sense in meaning? Yes, the courage maybe is something that comes from the heart. And if you're really curious, you can check on an etymological dictionary online to see if your hypothesis was correct. But thinking about that is going to make you especially open to assimilating new words. And to finish with another interesting example, toilette. What does toilette mean?
Toilet.
Toilet. It sounds quite different, no? Because we have the OI, which gives us toi in English, giving us toi in French, toilette. So we have la toilette, the toilet, and le toilettage. The toilettage somehow is animal grooming. So if you go to take your dog for a haircut, this is toilettage. So pay attention for the different endings we can get on nouns and the way they can change meaning and gender.